Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of ExcelR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Want to get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. ExcelR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with ExcelR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if ExcelR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with ExcelR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our technical fest Atmos, and I thank ExcelR for being a part of it.
Good afternoon, dear faculty members. I hope my voice is audible to everybody.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your confirmation. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, all.
So we can start the session further.
Okay, great. Good afternoon once again, everyone. We had a discussion on the basics, the EC2, which is one of the popular service, how to start a virtual machine inside AWS. This is what we saw, and some of the features where we can increase or decrease the CPU memory disk is something which we saw. And also what is SaaS, what is PaaS, what is infrastructure as a service, and what are the benefits of cloud. Certain things we saw in the yesterday's session. So as part of the yesterday's topic, I have something to cover, which is Amazon VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. So before talking to the technical terms of VPC, I would like to take you through the way we have things around us. So this is the image which I would like to take you through. This is typically any business you go, we have multiple tiers, multiple sections. You go to any restaurant. In the restaurant, you have first section, which is welcoming for everyone, which is kind of a lobby or wherever you sit and order the food and enjoy the food. Okay, that is something everybody is allowed to go there. So it's like public. But there is another section which is dedicated for chefs to prepare the food. That is where no one is, no, the external public is not allowed. So there are people who will sit at the order collection and order counter section. They will get to know what is your requirement, accordingly the customizations for your food, and they will get the things done and they will pass it to you. And the restaurant is also having a backend, which is kind of a backend where food is being stacked, stored, processed, prepared for final food. For example, chopping the vegetables, peeling the fruits for making the juices, creating a dough, creating a batter. All these things happens here. So public is not directly allowed to get into a kitchen or food stream. So anybody who's coming, they are allowed to spend time in the public area, and they have an option to interact with certain people who takes care of it. Even though you go to bank, this is the same thing. You go to a reception, you ask whatever you need. Depending on that, there are bank karmacharis, bank employees who will understand your requirement and facilitate whatever is required. And bank also has something called as strong room in the back end, which has their own gold, cash processing, cash counting, packing, all those things. So this is how usually we see the setup in most of the business. You go to jewelry shop, you go to any shop, there will be either 2 tier or 3 tier. We call it as tier. Tier 1, tier 2. So tier 2, you will be having um, public section and private section. You go to any jewelry shop, they will not allow you to get into a section where jewelries are being made or repaired or washed, all those things. Yeah. When we design the application, we design it in such a way that there are 3 tiers or minimum two or maximum 3 or more. The first layer is known as web tier, where anybody is able to access. For example, onlinesba.com. When I go there, Okay, online SBI. They have moved their domain. So when I go to this online SBI, this is a page which is available for everyone. This is like a reception. I can come here, I can know what are the products available, what are the services available, what is interest rate, how to open the bank account, all those things. Now, when I log in, that is where I get to know my profile, what are the products I am subscribed for. For example, uh, gold loan, vehicle loan, savings bank, current bank, wealth management, all those things. So that is something called as application. So as soon as I'm able to successfully log in, my web server communicates to the application layer and it loads whatever products you are entitled for or subscribed for. And that application layer just has a logic, but the data is actually saved in the data layer. What are the beneficiaries you have? What is the amount you have? What are the transactions you did? So all those things are there in the data layer. So that is what is the database layer. So unless until you visit this, you will not be able to log into these layers and fetch the information. And you won't do it. The presentation layer, which is a web server or mobile server or mobile application, will fetch the details. Eventually, the application logic fetch those data based on the queries, whatever is written here, and it will show you. The point here is the application server, the logic layer, is configured to get communication only from the presentation layer. And the data layer, database, is enabled to talk only to the application layer. Even web layer or presentation layer cannot directly talk to the data layer. So this is how usually we prepare our application. And here we have client, that's where web application and mobile applications are connected to. And from there, it talks to the application server, which is .NET or anything, uh, Java application or all those things. That eventually talks to the database. So this is three-tier architecture: presentation, logic layer, and data layer. So this is how applications are being put in a secured manner. So the question is, when I put my application on the cloud, how do I plan this? So that is where we have something called as VPC. VPC is a virtual private cloud, which allows you to create logically isolated networks within AWS. Logically isolated network means it is not a physical hardware or physical device. Programmatically, it was defined, it was designed in such a way that it helps you create an isolated network within AWS. So it controls your range of IP address. Whenever you do any company planning, you do the planning of number of people, right? Number of people, you'll get a floor. You'll come to know how many people will be working here, how many networks should be created,
Sir,
network ports.
excuse me, sir. Sorry for the interrupt. Actually, your screen is not sharing.
Yeah, it is very much sharing.
No, it
Let
is
me,
not actually. Can you please check and reshare it again?
okay, I'm stopping it again. I'm sharing it again. Is it appearing now?
No, it is not. Can you please drop the session and rejoin back? I think there is some issues. So even I'm getting so many messages from the faculties that screen is not visible. Sorry for the inconvenience. Like trainer is going to join again. Please be waited.
I'm back online and I'm sharing my screen. Could you confirm whether it is visible now?
No, it does not. You already shared it?
Yeah, I shared it. And it
No, sir,
is
it is not
visible
visible.
to me, stating
Okay.
that you are screen sharing. Is this?
No, it is not visible actually.
Uh, I'm trying to share it again now. It is shared now. Can you check and confirm?
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
I had to exit this complete Zoom process. Maybe the Zoom was having some challenge. Let me begin it again.
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon once again. As per the part of the topic yesterday, VPC was supposed to be covered. What I was explaining, I was taking you guys through this image, which is what is the usual business looks like. So if you go to any restaurant, you have a public section. From the public section, you can place an order. The people who are available here to take the order, they will work with kitchen and they will get you the food. And similarly, kitchen also has a backend which prepares a lot of food for the final food preparation, like batter. Uh, they may put the milk into getting into a curd formation for next day, and preparing a dough, preparing a pizza base, preparing chopping vegetables and peeling fruits, all those things. So here, public is not allowed to directly get into kitchen and also to the back storeroom. Similarly, in the bank also, you have an option to go to the front end, like which is reception, where every client or every customer can go. They can ask bank employees to get certain things done, and based on your request and available subscription, whatever you are booked for, they will get the details for you and they will serve you. Similarly, bank also has a backend where gold, cash, and other things are stacked. Depending on your requirement, the right employee of the bank will go there and get it for you. So this is one of the example. When I open this SBI online, SBI.SBI, so this is the public page anybody can access. The moment I log in by giving the appropriate credentials, I will be allowed to see the products which I'm subscribed for. For example, savings bank, gold loan, current account, ready credit, all those things. So in the application, what happens? We have three tiers. One is called presentation layer. This is where web application gets loaded. And upon you successfully log in, it initiates the communication with the application server, which could be your .NET application, which could be your Java application. If you're not speaking, kindly go on mute. There is some background noise. Okay, thank you. So the application layer talks to the database. Depending on what data is relevant for your operation, whatever clicks you make, accordingly, it will make the query to the database and gets the details for you. No one is having access to this logic layer and data layer. This is how the applications are being designed to make sure it is securely managed. So similarly, VPC, Virtual Private Cloud, is one such service which lets you create logically isolated networks within AWS. So what is network? Whenever you are planning to start any company, you will create initial capacity management. How do you create classrooms? You need to know how many students are there, right? 60 students can sit in one classroom, 50. So when you're preparing a lab, accordingly, you will create the network ports first. So in cloud also, when we create first network. Without creating a network, it is not possible to create a virtual machine because it will not be able to function or being able to access by the individuals or any applications. So first we will create VPC, which is allowing us to create a network, and within that particular network, we will be able to define the IP address range, and we will be able to create subnets, which is subsection of the networks. This is where we create one public subnet where anybody can log in, and one private subnet where only defined network can reach out. We also define route tables. Route tables, what is route table? As soon as you get out from your city, you have those boards, right? To go to Kochi, you take this road. To go to Kanyakumari, you go to this road. To go to Telangana, you take this road. So when computers are trying to communicate to the external world, internet, how they should go, that is what we define in route table. And we have some gateways called internet gateway, NAT gateway, which helps you get the external connection for your virtual machines. And when we create subnet, we create public and private. In the public, we put mobile application or mobile server, or in the private, we put application server and databases. Internet gateway is something which helps you connect the public machine to the internet. NAT gateway is something which helps your private system to communicate to internet. So security group we saw yesterday, it allows you to whitelist your traffic. It only allows, but there are certain scenarios where we have to deny. For example, these 5 IP addresses are trying to log in with wrong credentials from last 1 month. Security team informs you. And when upon doing the investigation, you will find out these IP addresses are coming from North Korea, China, some suspicious places. So you can disable it. You can deny that particular traffic by putting it into network access control list for the traffic. So with the help of all these things, we should be able to create a secure and production grade applications in your cloud. I have one VPC configured just before this session, and I will take you through. This is my VPC, and I have a range of IP address 10.0.0.0/16, which is allowing me to get 65,000 IP address. How to understand that? CIDR.xyz. So this is the website where I can define and understand how many IP addresses I can get. So with the help of 16, first 16 bits are network, the second 16 bits are host. So with this range, I will be able to get 65,000 IP addresses, private IP address, not public. And this is the first IP and this is the last IP. So having this, I created one my VPC, which is custom VPC. After that, I created 2 subnets. One is public and one is private. So the public range is 10.0.1.0. The private range is 10.0.2.0. Okay. So I will create two computers, making them run on public and private. Quickly, let me show you. Launch the instance. And this, I will call it as web. And I'm selecting the key pair to be able to log into my system. In the network section, I will edit and I will pick up my own VPC, virtual private cloud. So this will be a public machine. You can see it automatically assigns the public IP. Okay, that's all. I'm launching one machine. Similarly, I'm launching the second machine. For this machine, I will call it as DB, database. And for this database, I will not make much changes. I will only pick up the private subnet. Edit, my VPC, subnet will be private. As soon as I choose private, you can see public IP assignment is disabled. So let me go ahead with the security group and I will launch this instance now. Now I have two machines, guys. One is public and one is private. I will try to connect to this machine. First of all, let me show you the differences. How do you connect to the individual machine? You should have the IP address, right? If I select the web application, you can see there is a public IP address. I will copy this IP address. If I see the database, I don't have the public IP at all. It has private IP 10.0.2. This is 10.0.1. So with the help of this, I will log into this machine. SSH-I. This is the command to log into the system. Desktop, Northern Virginia, EC2-user is the username @ that system. I'm able to, I have to edit the security group. I'll do it right away because by default, when you create a security group, it is very much secure. I'm allowing all the traffic anywhere. So that should allow me to connect. Control C, same command again. It is allowing me to connect. But from this machine, ping google.com. It is, I'm able to go to the internet and I'm able to ping yum install tree. I want to install something. Okay, the same command I need to run with this super user privilege, sudo yum install tree. So I'm just doing this to show you I'm able to download something from the internet and I'm able to install. You see, it is installing one application called tree. Tree is a simple application which will help you see how the folder structures are created. Okay. Now from here, so what is that we did? We were able to connect to the system. From the external world, I'm able to connect to this machine. And if I want to connect to the logic layer, from this machine, I should be able to connect. So what is that requirement to connect? First of all, I have a key called 88643 Northern Virginia map. Where is this key defined? When I created a machine instance, under the details, you can see this is my key pair to connect. 88643, that is my account ID. You can see the account ID here. 88643, this is my account ID. Northern Virginia, March 2025. So now this is the key required to connect to the database also. I go to database, you need this key to connect. I'll show you how this key looks like. It is very secure. You cannot use root123 admin123 password to connect. Cat desktop 88 Northern Virginia. This is the key which is used to log into the system, and it is dynamically generated, and it is very difficult to crack anybody to understand this and be able to reach to your system. Now this machine, this key is there in my local machine. I will push this key to my web server so that from the web server I can connect to database server. SCP secure copy -I desktop. Using this password, I'm trying to copy the file, which is the same file, desktop 88 Northern Virginia, to which machine I want to transfer EC2-user at the rate. For this machine, I want to transfer colon home directory. So this key is getting transferred from my machine to the web server. Now I will log into the web server, and within that machine, I will do ls. I have this key. Now, what is the private IP address of the database? 10.0.2.82, correct? SSH-I 88, this is the key, EC2-user at the rate 10.0.2.82. It is very much allowing me to connect. I was in the public machine first, 10.0.1 series. Now I'm into 10.0.2 series, which is database server. Sudo yum update. Remember, the bank can have something broken in the strong room. Some welding has to be done or some civil work has to be constructed. Do you expect bank people to do it? They are not the subject matter expert. What we do when something gets broken, we escort the external people to make sure the work is done. Similarly, now the private machine is able to go to internet and get something, but anybody from outside world will not be able to directly reach it. That is where we have something called as NAT gateway. I was telling this NAT gateway is also known as network address translation. This is like your parent. If your kid is asking, give me the book, get me the book, you're not giving the money and asking them to go to market and get it. Market is very vulnerable for kids. You understand the requirement from them. You go to the market without revealing to whom the book is. You are getting the book and you are giving it to him. Similarly, what NAT gateway does, it gets the request from the private system, which is not having the public IP. It takes the request, it translates the address on behalf of itself. It gets those packages, whatever it is required, downloading, uploading, all those things. It will perform it and it will come back and give the response to the system. So NAT gateway is only one direction communication enabler. Private machine can go out and get something, but anybody from outside, they are unable to reach to the private machine. That is how the architecture we create. So in order to create a 3-tier application using the real world networking for the students, we can help them understand this is what VPC is all about. And in the cloud, it is very easy to use a software defined network to create logically isolated small subnets to host your application, depending on whether it has to be public or private. And accordingly, we can define the policies, who should be able to connect, who should not be able to connect, all those things. That was about VPC from the yesterday's topic. And let me move to today's slide without much delay. So today we have something called as IAM, Identity and Access Management. In this identity and access management, we also have a little bit of compute services. I will show you a couple of details. Yesterday, I covered some topics because I wanted to close EC2 yesterday itself, but still certain things are there. I will talk today. And as per the slide, I will tell you what I covered and what I'm not. Accordingly, I will take it. IAM, it is something related to authentication and authorization. What is authentication? In order to come to your college, I need an identity. I will get the identity card, right? When I get the identity card, when I get the admission to the college. Similarly, when you have an AWS account, cloud account, you want anybody else to manage your application. First of all, you need to onboard them. You need to create an ID for them. So that is authentication. You are creating a username, you are creating a password. Using with those credentials, they can log into the AWS account of yours. Once they log in, that is when the next challenge comes. Once I come to your college, do I have to go to classroom? Do I have to come to a staff room? Or do I have to go to uh, a cleaner room, janitor room? So that is something you have to define, right? What is my role? Whether I'm a student, whether I'm a guest lecturer, whether I'm a permanent lecturer, whether I'm a HOD, whether I'm a principal. So depending on that, I will be getting the authorization. So when somebody logs into my AWS account, I have to define whether this person can handle the instances, whether this person can handle the database, whether this person can handle S3 bucket. So that is what we will see. We will understand users, groups, roles, policies, all those things, multi-factor authentication, access keys. This is what I covered yesterday. Instance type, key pairs and SSH, I will explain today. Security group is something yesterday I covered. And we will look into the serverless, accordingly the hands-on and discussion. Okay, let me go ahead. Identity and access management is everywhere in our day-to-day life. You want to log into your phone, you should have the password. That is your, credential. You want to get into a gated community, your car should have the proper sticker. Otherwise, the person will ask you to park the car somewhere else, not allowed to go inside. You want to go to college, at the gate, security person will ask you to show the ID card, depending on that, whether you are belonging to that entity or not. So identity and access management is a service which enables secure access control to your AWS services. We have something called as users, individuals who want to work on the AWS services, we call it as users. Groups is a logical group of those users. Using groups, I cannot log in. Group cannot have one more group part of it. Roles. My principal is going out for a conference. 15 days, he will not be available. What he does, he delegates some of his roles to somebody. So till I come, if this requirement comes, you take care and you put the signature and get those things done. Roles are those things which we assign it to the individual resources. Using roles, we cannot log into the AWS. Roles can be assumed by services to perform certain activity only for that delegated time. And policies. Policies are small permissions. I can allow the policy for individual. This person can start the EC2. This person can upload the document. This person can delete the EC2. So like that. So it helps you, centralized, account level security. It is a central to account level security, and it is allowing you to create the resource level permissions. It's a global service, not related to any region. I just explained this. Individuals who would like to work with AWS, collection of users or groups, roles are temporary credentials allowed to certain users or services. Policies are like permissions. You can allow or deny certain actions on the people. I'll show you now. Okay. After that, I'll come to this MFA, multi-factor authentication. Now, if I come back to this IAM, you can search IAM here and you can click. This is your dashboard. In this dashboard, you can see how many user groups are there, how many users are there, how many roles are there, how many policies are there, identity providers. So I'll go to user and I'll create a user. Ramesh. What is this Ramesh is supposed to do? Whatever I'm showing you, this is called console. Do you want to allow him to access the console? You put yes. You want to create a user. You want to give the password Ramesh1 at 3. Okay. The password should be changed during the first login. This we usually enable. I'm not doing it. What are the permission you want to give it to him? Do you want to make him part of certain groups which are already having some access? Or do you want to attach a policy directly? What is that I want to attach? S3. S3 full access. Okay. I will allow him to log in with S3 full access. Okay. This is the password. This is where he will use the URL. You can email his credentials to him from here. I'm using this credential to log in now. I will use this username and password. Okay. This is the account ID. Ramesh and the password. As soon as he logs in, he is able to access now. You see, Ramesh at the rate this account. Now he will go to EC2 and he will try to start the EC2. We have not given him the EC2 permission. As soon as he comes to EC2, he will have all the errors. It clearly tells you Ramesh is not authorized to perform this. But if he goes to S3, is he able to see the buckets? Let's see. We have given him the access to S3. He is able to access buckets. He is able to go inside the bucket. He is able to delete something because we have given him full access to S3. Okay. I'll delete it. Let me see whether it is allowing me to delete or not. Okay, it is successfully deleted. Let me go back to EC2 again. Okay, as a user, I'll try to go to S3 bucket, EC2. And as the user Ramesh, I will reach out to Satya stating that, sir, I'm trying to create an instance, but I'm getting an error. And I'll say, okay, is it? Let me go ahead and give the permission to you. I will go to the user and I will select that particular user, Ramesh. Under the permission, I will add the permission to him. Under the permission, I go to the policy and I will attach EC2 full access. Next, add the permission. I will tell him, okay, I have given the permission to you. You should be able to do it now. As a user, I come back to Ramesh and I will refresh my screen. I should be able to see those buckets and other things. Let me refresh the whole web page. You see, it is loading the instances. You see, he can see those instances. So identity and access management, what is this policy all about? Let me show you the policy, how the policy looks like. So this is one policy. It is a JSON document, guys. Java script object notation, something you call it, right? So if I assign it to someone, EC2, it is allowing any EC2, not only one EC2, but if you put one EC2 here, he will be able to perform action only on that EC2. He'll be able to, he's allowed to action on elastic load balancing, allow CloudWatch, allow auto scaling. Okay, what is that he can do? He is allowed to go for action, create service link rule, elastic load balancing. This is very much straightforward and anybody can read it and understand and they can tweak it. I want the user Ramesh to delete only on one instance. What I have to do, I have to pick up this ID, instance ID, and I have to update it here. He will be able to create and delete only that resource, nothing else. So like that, we can create resources, we can create policies to restrict the users specific to one particular service. Using IAM, we can also make sure that user has the multi-factor authentication. What is multi-factor authentication? Every day you log into Gmail from your laptop, from your college. It goes fine. But one fine day, when you go to some other city because of some exam duty or because of some conference or something, at that time, the same laptop is you are trying to access Gmail. It will ask you to enter some OTP. It will ask you to enter some, open your mobile and click this. Why it does? The IP address from where you're trying to access Gmail is changed. So they find it suspicious and they will make sure whether it is you only or somebody else. So that is why MFA is multi-factor authentication. Along with your username, password, you have to give one more factor, which could be OTP or something. So I can assign MFA for this guy. Let me show you. Ramesh, MFA. There are authenticator apps. Google Authenticator. You can download this and you can install it in your cell phone. This is how it looks like. You know, it generates the password, it generates the random key every 30 seconds. Along with username, password, you need to click on this plus button and you need to scan the image, which I will be getting here. Authenticator app. Next. Here, I'm using my cell phone to scan this code. As soon as I scan this code, I will get one key, and that key I will be entering here. Okay, so I'm getting a key 618910, 618910. I will wait for 30 seconds. New code will generate. Okay, I will enter the second code here. So it understands the difference between those codes and it predicts the keys which are generating in my cell phone. And next time when I log in, it will ask me the code to be entered. This is purely a security feature 654704. Add MFA. After adding, I will log out from this. After logout, once I try to log in, Okay. Okay, I need to copy that URL, and the URL is this sign up URL. Okay, so I'm logging in as the user Ramesh 1 at 3. This is the password. And when I try to log in, it asks for my MFA code 274326. After entering the MFA, it is allowing me to log in. So this is to make sure nobody is using your account without your knowledge. Every time they have to log in, they have to call you and get the code. Right? So that is how MFA helps. The next part is for that every user, I want to allow them to log in using command line. So that is what we have the next topic, next part, MFA and access key. Multi-factor authentication. It adds additional security layer beyond the passwords. And I strongly recommend it for root and admin accounts. Right? What is access key? Access key, anybody who is trying to access AWS account using command line or software development kits, we create something called as access key and secret access key. So I'll show you. Let's do it now. Now this is the user. Ramesh is the user. I'm creating an access key for him. Command line interface. I understand. Next for demo. As soon as I click this, it will give me access key and secret access key. How do I use this? So this is the command line, guys. I will use the command AWS configure. So let me show you before that AWS S3 LS. What is AWS? It's a command. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to access S3 service. What is that I'm trying to do? I'm trying to list the buckets which I have. When I run this command, it will give me, you configure your credentials. I will run this command AWS configure. It asks me the access key ID. What is the access key ID? This is the access key ID. Okay. Secret access key. This is my secret access key, randomly generated. What is the default region? AP, South, sorry, US, East, 1, Northern Virginia. And how do you want to get the output? JSON. After configuring this, AWS S3 LS, the same command I'm running now, as soon as I run this command, it shows me all the buckets which I created. You see, yesterday, which one we created? New July 2025, right? This is what I created. I want to create a new bucket. AWS S3 MB, make bucket. S3:/. What is the new bucket we will create? My new bucket on July 2025. Okay, bucket is created. Let's go ahead and check whether the bucket is created or not. I will go to S3 and I will open it. My new bucket on July 2025. You see, 1554, 354, I have created the bucket. Let me copy something to this. Nothing is there. AWS S3 CP, copy. What is that you want to copy? My key only, desktop, 88. This is the file which I have, right? Let me list the file which I have. This is the one. AWS S3 CP. This is the file. To this bucket. Done. Copied. I will go to my S3 bucket and I will refresh. You can see the object is copied. Let me go ahead. As Satya, I came to know this guy is doing something nasty, which he is not supposed to do. I will go to the admin account. I will prevent him doing it. Let me go to Ramesh user. This guy is doing something. Let me block him doing so. I will select S3 full access and I will remove this policy. As soon as I removed it, next time he is trying to access something, touch my file.txt. Now AWS S3 CP my file.txt. He is trying to copy this to the same bucket, my new bucket on July 2025. It clearly tells you Ramesh is not authorized to perform S3 put object. So whether the user is trying to access through the browser, web console, or whether he's trying to access through command line, we can absolutely control their action. Now let me try to delete one system. What is this machine? 10.0.1.151. Okay, so this is the machine. So I want to delete this machine. I want to terminate this database. How do I do it? AWS EC2 instances. There is a command I have to check some web. AWS CLI to delete EC2 instance. Commands are not so easy to remember. Terminate EC2 instance. It's a very simple command. AWS EC2 terminate instances, instance IDs. Okay, this is the command. We still haven't removed EC2 access to him. You remember? I will copy the instance ID. This is the instance ID. Let me not terminate. Let me stop it. We may need it for some more time, maybe till end of the session. I want to stop it. Stop instances. You see, it is stopping. Earlier, it was running. Previous state was running. Current state is stopping. So just to verify that, I will come here and refresh and see this machine should be stopping. Fine. So we have removed his S3 access, but we haven't removed EC2 access. He's able to complete those actions using command line. So we want to start the same machine, change it to start. Let it completely stop. Otherwise, we don't want to create some mess up. It is completely stopped. Now I say start instances. We'll refresh here. It is running, initializing. So it is the power of having command line access. Okay. So you need to use the combination of MFA, IAM policies to make sure you have better security in place, right? That's one thing. So we did the hands-on demo for IAM users with the different permissions. Now let's understand what is instance type. We discussed about it yesterday. Instance type means it helps you define how much CPU memory, how much network, how much storage, C is the family where we have compute intensive, which is compute is more and memory could be less. Memory optimized, CPU is less, memory is more. So that is called R series system. General purpose, T1, sorry, T2, T3, like that. So after this is the generation. You might have heard about i3 10th generation, i3 12th generation. That is nothing but a generation. Getting the more compute power within the same family of the system. Additional capabilities, graphic card, increased network. G for graphic, N for network. If you have D, disk related parameters are high. If you have I, input output operations are high. And after that, this is the size. You have t-shirt size, right? Micro, mini, small, medium, large, X large. So like this, CPU memory increased with the particular size. Amazon machine image. This we saw. Machine image means it is pre-configured operating system. Sometimes it may come with additional softwares also. AWS provides you around 47 pre-installed AMIs. It also works with a lot of vendors to give you better AMIs for their vendor-based product. You can also create your own custom AMIs if you want to. For example, let me tell you, election has announced, I'm getting a contract to manage 3 states. I need to create 3,000 machines and the data has to be secure. What I will do, I will take one EC2 and I will create an operating system and I will install whatever is required. A government application, its connection, its security, all those things. Once I create this, I will save it as my own custom AMI. And upon starting, I will start 100, 200, 300, depending on whatever number of systems I want to. I can also share with other AWS accounts to use this particular AMI with others. So students can create AMI and they can turn it off, they can terminate to save the cost. And whenever they are working, they can quickly start the machine from that point and they can continue from there. Today, I have my machine running with the latest application. Tonight, I have a release to make. I have to upgrade the database. I'm not sure whether I succeed or I may fail. I will take the backup of that AMI. If the backup works fine, if the installation works fine, I will continue. If it is not, using the AMI, I will restore the same machine without any deviation. So it helps you quickly start identical environments. Key pair. We used key pair. You just saw how the PEM file looks like. I've shown you this particular PEM file. Cat 88. So this is the file. It is very secure. It's not easy for anybody to track. You can use Putty. You can use various other softwares, Mobile Extra, all those things to run the connect to the system. Something happened. Not able to move to the next slide. Okay. That is about the keys. The next one is security group. Yesterday we discussed about security groups. Security groups are like firewalls. So what we did, we defined a particular traffic. So let me show you one more small demo. I have the system 10.0.1.151. Okay. And I also have one more system, which is 10.0.2 dot something. Okay. From this web machine, I want to ping this machine. To do it, first of all, I will edit my security group and I will allow only SSH. When I allow only SSH is allowed. What is the IP address? 10.0.2 dot something. So this is the database and this is the IP address. Now SSH-I 88 EC2-user @ it allows me to connect. I went into the machine, exit, but I want to ping it. Ping this IP address. Ping is not happening because I did not allow ping. Let me go ahead and allow the ping. I will go to the security group and I will edit the inbound rule and I will add a rule ICMP v4 from, you can give the IP address also 10.0.1 dot, what was the IP address of that machine? 151/0 32. 10.0.1.151/32. As soon as I allow this, you can see the ping starts. You see? Let's do one more time. I'll delete this and I'll save. Okay. Ping. It's not happening. So I will go ahead and save this by editing. Add a rule. Instead of IPv4, I will allow all traffic, which is like anybody can do anything. As soon as I save this, you see, the ping will start. Not only ping, you can do telnet, you can do SSH, you can do MS SQL, you can do application port login, all those things. Let's assume that your application is running in a specific port. That port can be whitelisted here. As soon as you whitelist, it allows you to log in. If it is not whitelisted, it will simply prevent. That is what is software-defined network. Okay. The best practice is allow SSH only from the trusted IP, which is your computer. You can define the port range from this port to this port. Edit inbound rule. Add rule. Custom TCP. I want to allow 8090 port only. And I want to allow 30,500 to 35,200. In between this range, you allow. Like that, you can create the range of the IP source. By default, whenever you create any security group, it allows all outbound rule. Inbound rules are denied. So you have to make sure what type of traffic is supposed to be allowed. That's about security group. One more last point. One machine can have multiple security group attached. Let me create one more security group. I'll go to security group and I'll create the security group for my VPC. Sample, add rule, SSH from IPv4. Description. After adding a security group, I will come to my system. I will go to actions, security, change the security group. I will search for the security group. Sample is something which I created now. I can add. So now this machine has two security groups. I will refresh it. No, it's not loaded. Let me refresh the entire page. Hi, Prachi. I saw your message now. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining. I'll go to security. I can see both the security groups are allowed. For this machine, only one security group is allowed. One security group can be used to multiple systems. One system can have multiple security groups. So it is like a policy, whatever you are defining for system to enable to communicate with. That is about security group. I hope that is clear. Introduction to AWS Lambda. What is AWS Lambda? Guys, by now you might have experienced lot of BPO companies are gone. Why they have gone? Because a lot of automation have come. I will tell you one of the example where I also worked 2 to 3 months in one of the BPO long back in the year 2004 or 2005. The job or the particular activity of that BPO, I was a system admin there, helping people to get the systems created, all those things. US has a hospital, and in the near to the Basveshwara circle in Bangalore, there is Reliance Geo data center. My office was there in Rajajinagar, Bangalore. That US hospital used to send a lot of images to this data center. It has a server. And our guys used to connect to this data center. They used to download that images, which is prescription of the patients. And they used to understand the text, put it in the Excel sheet, and mark the file as completed. So it's business process outsourcing. Whatever a doctor has written to one particular patient, they want to digitalize that prescription, history, all those things. So this is the job people were doing. Now these jobs are gone. These are not there. On the day 5, I have some AI ML based cognitive services session. I will show you what are the services which we have in AWS, which can help you identify the text, images, celebrities, facial expression, sentiment analysis of the email. All those things I will show you on the day 5. Now, as soon as the image is come to process it, I will write a code. And that code need not to have a computer to run. Serverless means it is not something there is no server. It is something about you don't have to worry about the server. You have a piece of code, you want to run that piece of code. Tell AWS, AWS will fulfill the required CPU, memory, disk, network, whatever it is required to run that code. And there are a lot of such scenarios where you don't have to keep on running the machine. Let's assume that you have to turn on the light at your house evening at 5 o'clock. It's our, some people, not some people, many people follow that, right? Evening, there should be a light at home. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you do the sweeping and you put the light, right? So just to do that switching on the light, if you want to if you want to, nominate a person or hire a person to do it, is it worth? He won't do anything. At 5 o'clock, he turns on. That's all. There are a lot of such scenarios where I have to write a script. Every Saturday evening, I have to take a backup of my database server. Every Saturday evening, I have to take a backup of my database server. Rest of the day, it is simply running. No job, nothing. It's not justified. So I will write a script and I will assign it to my AWS Lambda and I will schedule it every Saturday at this time. Go to this server, take a backup, store the backup here, compress it, and do it. So that is where Lambda comes into a picture. You will be able to write a script and you will be able to attach it to Lambda and you will be able to schedule it. What we have to do, we have to assign the role. For this Lambda, I have to allow to read the information from the database and perform all those things. So that is what is serverless. So Lambda is one service which is part of serverless. I can write the code in Python, Node.js, Java, or in any of this. And I can upload that function written in Python. And I can trigger the events from either S3 or API call, or I can schedule. Automatically scales. I have one example for you. Let me clear this. I will just explain a small example which I have set up for your demonstration. I have one bucket, guys. This is my S3 bucket. I think all of you know the purpose of thumbnail. What is the purpose of thumbnail? Thumbnail is a small image. As soon as you take a photo in your cell phone, the size of the photo will be 4 to 5 MB or 6 MB, depending on what phone you have, its camera quality, all those capacity, all those things. So the photo which you take would be 4 to 5 MB. But the gallery, what you open, it's a small application. It cannot load hundreds of photos, each carrying 4 to 5 MB. It will simply not perform. As soon as you take a photo, the gallery will create a small thumbnail so that when you open the gallery, it shows you small icons of that photo. The moment you click one photo, the actual photo will load on the screen. Otherwise, your gallery application cannot hold so much information loaded and displayed to you in the gallery application. That is the purpose. Now, when the professional photographers takes the photo, it's 40 MB, 50 MB, 100 MB, 200 MB. They use professional 4K cameras, 8K cameras. And when they come back, they will process it for different devices, handheld devices like iPad, iPhone, cell phone, laptop screen, projector, TV. So it needs to have different resolution. Otherwise, loading of the image becomes slow and processing of the file will also become slow. So I have a bucket called images. Let's call this bucket as A. And I have one more bucket, which is thumbnail. Let's call it as bucket B. And I have a Lambda, which has the code. As soon as somebody copies the photo here, that bucket notifies the Lambda, hey, there is a new file which is coming. That is called trigger. And we also call it as invocation. The Lambda will come to know, okay, there is a new file. It will go ahead and read the file from this bucket. Okay, this is called get object, read, and it converts the file and it puts the file into bucket B. So I have written a Python code here, and that Python code knows how to take the bigger image and create the smaller image and put it into one more bucket. So let's do this. I'll show you the code and other details which I have. This is the Lambda screen, the Lambda, and I have two Lambda functions. Who is triggering this? There is something called as trigger. If I go back to S3, this bucket, demo user image bucket, April 2025. This particular bucket, let me click this and show you what is that it is triggering. Yesterday, while taking you through the properties, I shown you it has event notification. What is that event notification? What is event? Any change in the state is event. Okay. Now, this is the event notification. This is the name of the event notification. All object create events. Anybody copies anything, it will send the information to Lambda. What Lambda is this? Thumbnail. So the information is being sent from this bucket to the Lambda. And what Lambda does, it has the code. It has an IDE environment, integrated development environment. And I have all these codes written. New client, export handler, asynchronous handler, error, unsupported file. If it is not JPG, it will throw an error. Okay, body transform array, await S3 send. These are all the codes which I have written. Package lock, package JSON, okay, policy JSON. So all these things are my code. Okay, now let me go ahead and copy this file. I will arrange my browser in such a way that this is demo user image. I will eject this browser from my larger browser. This is thumbnail bucket. This is thumbnail bucket. I will eject this also. Now I will arrange both the browsers next to each other for your understanding, for your for this demo purpose. The image bucket will be put on the left. The thumbnail bucket will be put on the right. I will refresh this. You can see buckets are not having any objects. Okay. Now let me upload one image for this. Add files. I will go to pictures. Yesterday we used one image, right? Apna Dhaba, but let me use something which is smaller. Okay. Pixel. This is 383 KB. The name of the file is Pixabay. Pixel Pixabay. Let me see what is this file. Quick look. This is the image, guys, and it is quite big. I will open this and I will upload. As soon as I upload this, the file is loaded here. What is the size of the file? 6.8 KB. What is the size here? 3.74 KB. 374 KB. So let me open this file and show you how it looks like. Selected this and I did open. This is thumbnail. I selected this and I did open. This is the image. So even it will be bigger. The point I would like to say here is you might be a professional photographer. Once in a year, you may go to a lot of different places. It could be a wildlife jungle. You may be a photographer of a tiger or birds. Whenever you go on a 15-day trip, you may take 25 to 30,000 or 50,000 photos. That is how professional photographer does. Even today's for marriage, this candid photographer clicks around 25,000 pictures. And when they go back, they convert all those images. And in order to convert those images, they use a lot of professional softwares. But you, as a hobbyist, when you take your camera and go out for photography, after coming back, you will pick nearly 3 to 4 files to write your blog about your journey experience and all. But the amount of photos are huge. You may not need to run a separate computer for it. You may have the proper code, and the code will do the activity for you to convert these images. So this time what I'll do, I will upload multiple files at a time. Add files. I have a folder called dogs here. I will go into dogs folder and I have around few files and I will upload all of them. How many are there? 31 files. Now, as soon as I upload this, 31 files, parallelly 31 lambdas will be triggered and parallelly all the files will be processed. So that is the power of serverless, which will help you perform the job without much issues. Okay, I will click on upload. The files are getting uploaded. You can see remaining 26 files. So I will start refreshing here. You can see the files started appearing here. 6 files, 9 files, 10 files, 11 files. There may be millions of pictures. I can set the thread. I can set the throttle. At a time, 1,000 lambdas should start. 17. 20. 21. 7 files remaining. 6. 5, 4, 3, 2. Right. So here, to do this, I don't have to keep one machine running. If you're a hobby photographer, you cannot keep one graphic card enabled machine always sitting in a corner at your house. So I just refreshed it. You can see 23 files are copied. I know some are failed. I will tell you what it is, why it is failed. I purposefully set the configuration accordingly. Now, coming back to my Lambda, I will see what has happened so far. I will go under monitor and I will see what are the things which are succeeded, what are the things which are failed. As the owner of this application, I know the capability of my application, how much CPU it needs, how much memory it needs, how much duration it should run, all I know. So I will start looking into this log, each log what happened. So this is little clumsy. Let me go to the bigger and better view. There is something called as Cloud Watch. As the name itself says, it's a monitoring service. I will go and check why it is failing around a couple of files. It's today's date, 18, sorry, that's May. It's today's date, 15/7. Okay, I will go to the stream and I will understand what has happened. I told you right in the beginning, AWS gives you the amount of CPU memory required for your process. So if I look at this, this is the core, this is the ID for which it is working. And this is the pointer KA45. This is the file. It successfully resized demo image bucket to this. And how much it is used? You are billed for 1643 milliseconds. And how much memory it has used? 128 memory. It is allocated. 104 MB is used. Okay. Now let me see the image which is failed. Successfully resized. It all says successfully resized. I want to see something which is failed, so that I can show you why it is failed. If my application will come across a situation where the memory is required more than 128 MB. You see, I was using, it was needing more than 128 MB because it is running out of memory. So at that time, what I have to do, I have to go to my Lambda. This file is also failed. So 128 is allocated. Maximum used memory is 128. So that is needing something more than that. So what is the size of the, what is the file name? Pixel Guavo 59. So what is this file? Let's understand. Close. This is 2 MB file. Now in Lambda, what I have to do, I will go to my Lambda. I will go to the configuration. I will go under the general configuration. I will edit and I will make memory to 256 MB. You can give up to 10 GB and it uses some temporary disk space. Minimum is 512. You can give up to 10 GB. And this program should run within 6 seconds. Because of any reason, if it is going beyond that 6 seconds, it should fail. And remember, we discussed about the role, and the role is something which we assign it to somebody else. I told you we are delegating. So for this particular Lambda, I'm giving this 29 June role, and that role has the permissions attached. You should be able to read from the bucket. You should be able to write to the bucket and CloudWatch. So I have increased the capacity, and there is also something called as invocation. So concurrency. Concurrency means parallelly how many lambdas can be started at a time. Parallelly. So if there are 4,000 photos immediately copied, 400 each lambdas will start, and it will complete within 10 iterations, 400 into 10. So serverless is something you can add the destination also. For example, whether it is successful or not, you want to write it to any database, or you want to send the notification to someone. Let me okay. I want to send one more success. I want to send it to content topic. Okay, I will upload something and I will show you the email which I'm getting. Let me go to the bucket and upload some new images. Upload, upload. I will pick up few pics here. Open. And I will upload. I was speaking on a mute for 1 or 2 minutes. I just paused my screen to open my email. I think you are able to see my screen now. As the images are getting loaded, you see, here 23 files are there. I will refresh. 28 files are created. 5 files. I uploaded 6, 5 are succeeded. Maybe this 5.8 MB might be missed. I'm sure. Okay. Now I should have 6 notifications, 5 successful, 1 failure. You see, this is the email which I got at 0 minutes ago, and the event name. Let me pick up the file to check whether it is failed or not. Okay, it's not showing anything. I will expand all of them. Yeah, this is something could have been missed. It says condition success. Okay, and uploaded to demo user thumbnail bucket. So this is the destination which I configured for. All the results are uploaded. So how many notifications are there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like this, I can configure the destination and I can do many things. I can add multiple triggers. I have one more scenario. Every day evening 6 o'clock, the EC2 should stop in order to prevent additional billing. I will give you one link. You can try it on your own. Start and stop EC2. This is AWS lab guide. I will send it to all. You can try it on your own. Very simple, very easy. Only 4 steps are there. First, you will create a role. You will create policy. This is the policy. You will attach it to role. After that, you open Lambda console. This is to stop the instance. You see, Python 3.9 code. Sorry, this is Python 3.9 code. This is to stop the machine. And this is to start the machine. Two Lambdas we will create. And we will create a schedule event bridge. We will create a rule, and we will schedule which minute, which day, which hour it has to be started and stopped. So automatically morning 10 o'clock, it should be started. The machine should be shut down by evening 6 o'clock. You can schedule around 100 machines, 200 machines, 10 machines, 2 machines, like this. So the code says what it does in this particular region, these 2 machines. You can add one more comma, you can add n number of machines to start or stop. Very simple. In order to run this script, you don't have to run a separate machine. There are a lot of such use cases which uses Lambda to make sure the systems are avoided to use the separate machine running for it. Okay, so let me see what else we have next. Do you want me to create one Lambda quickly? Because we have around 10 minutes time. It won't take much time. I'll go to functions and I'll create a function from the scratch. Stop EC2. I'll show you how I stop EC2. It's a Python 3.9 code. Python 3.9 code. And I will copy this code. Let me copy this to the Lambda. I want to assign the role June 19, which I created, right? 19 June or something it was there. 29 June something. It was all demo when I take sessions. On that particular day, I wanted to show the students. Okay, this is Python 3.9 code. It will give me the IDE. I will replace this and I will put my EC2 instance name here. So I have 2 systems now. I will put both the system name, system ID, sorry, instance ID. It's not the name. Control V. And the second system is this. I will copy. Both of them are running, guys, now. I'm not going to stop it here. I will trigger the stop from the Lambda. Okay, both the machines are running now. I will go to this. Control V. My systems are running in US East 1. Okay, I will deploy my code. That means like I'm saving it in the portal and I'm testing it. The moment I tested, see it is failing because of some reason. Let's see what is the reason. Okay, 29 June is not authorized. Okay, the role is not correct. I'll go to this role and I will upload the permission. I'll update the permission. 29th June, I will go and I will give EC2 full access. You see this 29th June is not having permission. EC2. You might be understanding the logic now, because hitting the error will help you understand a bit more things. Now I will go to test again and I will test it again. It is still failing. You are not authorized. 29th June. Assume role. Okay. Let me go ahead and give all permission. Simply, I'm joking. We should not do it in the production. Why it is failing, I know, because we haven't given CloudWatch permission. Administrator access I'm giving. This is 29th June. So let me go to the test and test it again. Before that, I will test whether my systems are still running or not. It is still running. I will test it now. On the resource US East 1 instance, because no identity based policies allows EC2 instance to swap the instances. Encode so and so, client error. There is something mistake in the code, it seems. Let's see. Is there any space? No space. US East 1. This is correct. US East 1. One is E7. The other one is E3. Yes, E7 and E3. US East 1. I'll go to configure and I will let me create one new role. I will create a role. I will create a policy first. And I will copy this code. 2 more minutes, guys. Bear with me. And I will create a policy. JSON. You see, it is allowing me to start and stop EC2 and create logs. What's the date today? 15 July. Okay. I will creating a policy. And after creating a policy, I'm creating a role. To whom I'm creating a role? For Lambda. Okay. For Lambda, I'm creating a role and I'm attaching 15th July policy. The name is also 15th July. Coming back to Lambda, I will go to configuration and I will edit and I will change the role to 15th July. Let me see whether it works fine as expected or not. I'm going to test it now. It is succeeded. You can see the green output. Okay. Your machines are stopped. When I go to EC2, when I check this, it is stopping. My now Lambda is created. I have to add a trigger. While adding the trigger, I will pick up the event bridge and I will create the rule. And I will mention the duration when it should be stopped. it should be stopped at 17 hours, 0 minute, Monday to Friday, all day, all week, like this. So what it does, it will go ahead and schedule trigger depending on this. It will show me the next 10 triggers, schedules. Okay. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 19th, 18th, 21st, 22nd. Friday, after Friday, Monday. So like this, every day at 10:30 p.m. GST, GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, it stops the system. Like this, you can do various options. The permutation combinations are just infinite with the available options. So that is about Lambda, which is your serverless. I have 10 minutes. I can stay even longer than the 10 minutes. If you have any queries, feel free to put it on the chat. I think I'm on my schedule for today. If you have any questions or any feedback, since it is the second hour we spent, if you feel the way I'm taking you through the topic needs to be slow, bit more example, bit more analogy, feel free to pass your feedback. And any additional thing which you feel, depending on the university topics, because of any such thing, you just let me know. I'm closely associated with GM University, GMU out of Davangere, and Bapuji Institute of Technology, Davangere. So that's where I go and conduct a lot of workshops and seminars and other uh, helpful session for students. I know how these organizations and institutions work. If you have any such thing, feel free to contact our team, ExcelR team. With their help, I should be able to come back to you with whatever requirement you have. That's all I have for today. I'm done. Unless until you have questions, I will stay back. Vicky Patel, Salesforce is good. In my 18 years of career, I have not got any exposure to work on Salesforce. It was one of my wish list to work, but I haven't got any chance to work either on Salesforce. Mainframes is one more my wish list. I haven't got even chance to work on mainframes also. But now everybody is going through AI. I have also started looking into AI. Couple of certifications I did, and also delivery. So I can see myself in Salesforce going forward. So I can see myself in AI rather than Sales. Salesforce is very good. I have my colleagues working there. They have a wonderful approach towards cloud, and they have a very good solutions also. Salesforce is very good. Thank you, Vicky. Abul, the teaching is very good in the next class. You can add some more examples while teaching it. Yes, I would love to do so, provided the time is the constraint. In fact, whatever Lambda I shown you, I would do it on the fly from the scratch, that bucket image, thumbnail conversion and all. But I planned my day because of the topics which I have, how to go ahead. And the amount of people what we have is huge. Some people would like to go surface level. Some people would like to go deep dive. I've definitely taken your input, Abul, and I will make sure some more examples I can give. For Lambda, the use cases are a lot of there. Let's take an example. A media company uses Lambda to transcode the videos when you upload it to S3. You can make sure you can create multiple resolution videos which meets end users device. depending on their request, you will come to know whether it's a TV, whether it's a mobile, whether it's a laptop. Depending on that, that file can be sent to them. Lambda is more used in ETL. Whenever a financial firm uses the serverless to parse and validate and push the streaming data from one source to another source, like date transformation, text transformation, all those things. Radhika, any suggestions for cloud computing certification? You go with a basic certification, which is Cloud Foundation. There is something called as Cloud Practitioner. You can begin with this. And if you are going towards architecting, you can go for Solution Architect. If you want to go towards development, you can go to Developer. If you are going towards machine learning, you can go for ML engineering. If you are something to do with data analytics, data engineering, data, all those related, data engineer. If you want to go towards operations, system operations, SysOps is the course. These are all level 1 course. You have professional courses also, DevOps, Solution Architect Professional. Specialty courses are there. Machine learning specialty, advanced networking, security specialty. All these are certifications which we have. They've also recently introduced AI practitioner. If you click on this, each and everything you'll come to know what is the duration of the exam, 90 minutes exam, foundational exam, 65 questions, multiple choice questions, $100. You can take it from remote, or you can go for exam Pearson Center, or you can take it online, proctor based. There are exam preparation guides also available. You can go through the exam preparation guide so that you understand how the questions are being asked. Sample questions it will give you. This is the handout. I will take you to the sample questions section in this. This is how the section of the questions will come from different topics. AWS Cloud Practitioner CPE exam preparation guide. Certification prep. The classroom training certification. Readiness webinar. Okay. Exam guide is something which we saw. Follow 4-step plan, out of which they will give you the proper guidance. I have seen across multiple documentation, guys, but AWS is very comprehensive. Apart from AWS, is what I suggest you is Red Hat is very good in terms of documentation and all. Download exam guide. Fundamental. Cloud certification practice. Exam plan. Practice questions. Certain things are free, certain things are paid. There are Udemy, WizLabs, all those also, those guys also give a lot of practice guides. I think they have changed the layout. But yeah, let me show you. If I go to images, I should be able to see some sample questions. The questions appears like this. Why AWS is more economical than traditional data centers. So you'll get MCQ, multi-choice questions. And yeah, it's not big deal. It's all about the focus and the amount of time you spend on your preparation. This is from Cloud Practitioner sample exam questions. They give you around 10 questions. Depending on that, there will be around 25 questions or so. Sorry, 65 questions spread across 90 minutes. This exam and other exams are even quite longer. Professional exams are 3 hours, 20 minutes, 220 minutes or something. I did one professional last 2023 November. Yeah. Okay. Main chat. Okay, this is one. Sushmita. Okay. Thank you very much for your time and participation, guys. I really appreciate your participation. Feel free to reach out to the coordinators for any such requirements. I'll be happy to serve you at your requirement. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you very much. Makes me smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable class. We'll tomorrow at 3 p.m. So, dear faculty members, this is one of our requests. Like some are asking for yesterday's attendance link, so that which could not share because as we already informed, the attendance link will be active only till 5:30. It is for 1 hour. So yesterday attendance we can't share it. So if you missed out to mark your attendance yesterday, no issues. Kindly mark from today without any fee. Okay, I hope you all understood. So we are going to wind up for the day. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Satish. We'll all meet again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.